the infinite glories of Brahma. Vibhuti Yoga it is called. Vibhuti. Again, it comes from bhava or to become. The word comes from bhava or become. So bhu is to be. Maybe that's how the English word also comes, from the Sanskrit essentially. So vibhuti is a special being, a special set of beings. So that is how vibhuti comes, a special becoming, special being, special becomings, vibhuti. So let us start. This is a very, very poignant chapter. Why? Because, see, who will reach till this chapter is only the bhaktas of Brahma. The people who can read and appreciate the 10th and the 11th chapter with tremendous devotion, surrender, are the people who are really attached to the Lord and are sure shot on the way to attain Him. So, for the first, reiterating, for the first 6 chapters, Lord teaches all people, irrespective of caste, creed, or religion, how to live. So, it starts with the suffering of a person because only through pain you will be prodded to God, Guruji says. So, through the suffering, we question. Without suffering, we don't question. So some souls would not have brought all this Sanchita karma. They would be enjoying this life because they feel that one life at least should be given to enjoyment. That is okay. That's the soul's journey. They may not question. But for those who go through some kind of intense agony, they will definitely seek and question. And when this way, seek and question, Vishada starts, confusion. They ask answers. And that's how you start looking here and there. Sankhya awakens. Knowledge, learning awakens. And then you realize one has to work. Whatever happens, we are programmed to work, karma yoga. And from work, we attain experience, we attain knowledge. First, lower knowledge related to attitude, behavior, and skill. And then higher knowledge, which is called prajna, or higher intellect, which is tending towards Brahma Jnana, that is wisdom. So we get Jnana Yoga. So after Jnana, so that's how 4th chapter comes about. So after Jnana, what happens is karma sannyasa begins to happen, meaning your knowledge is so intense, you go into that level of intellect or prajna that the lower things fall off slowly by itself until you reach that state where you have not got anything to give or take from this world, the Naishkarmyata state, or the Akarma state. One who's attained Brahmanya. So that is how karma sannyasa. So I'm just taking you through why the 10th chapter has come. And then Brahma says, now since you have reached or tending towards reaching the Naishkarmita state, you can make it very fast, your progress now, and learn an upaya. And that is how Raja Yoga starts. This Brahmajnana. To attain Brahmajnana, you do dhyana, meditation, techniques of meditation, and various types of techniques. Before that, you do karmic yajnas. After that, you go into samadhi through dhyana. So till here, a materialistic man has to perform all this, you and I. We are called yogis because we are in the world and we do all this. And when we do all this, what is going to happen? We are going to get jnana, vijnana, knowledge of what is right and wrong of this world and beyond this world. Jnana, vijnana. That Brahma is the creator. He is the ultimate standpoint that we're all looking at. So 7th chapter happens. So when we see Jnana and Vijnana together, you want to know Vijnana more, Adhyatma more, because you are now not interested in the worldly things and you will look at Akshara Brahma. You now study Akshara Brahma, that Brahma which has no destruction. Through the Akshara Brahma, who comes in the form of your Guru, you get a certain technique of reaching him very quickly, and that is called the royal path, which is also the royal secret, the royal knowledge, Rajavidya, Rajaguhya Yoga. And when you practice this Rajavidya, Rajaguhya Yoga, you are evidently going to see the various manifestations of Brahma in this world before fundamentally touching him, meaning astral visions, astral awareness of all that is existing in different realms. And that is Vibhuti Yoga, the glorious manifestations of this Akshara Brahma. And there will come a time when you will actually not only see these vibhutis, but become one with those vibhutis and unite with all its essence. That is Parabrahm himself, Vishwarupa Darshana. Hence, you see Brahma. When this happens, bhakti comes. That is why 12th chapter. So, this is the sequence of events. So, now we have attained that royal path in the 9th chapter. So, we will now understand what are all his manifestations in the divine realms, the Vibhuti. So, this is the continuation of how it has come to be. So, let us start. No doubt so far? No doubt so far. Yeah. If you have doubts, we can discuss this at the end also, like why this sequence of events, you will not find it anywhere. You will not find it written in any place of Gita. So you you arrive at it by meditating on the Gita yourself, the sequence of events. So let us now look at Brahma, what he says. Bhagavan continues about his infinite opulences. He says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhuya eva Mahabaho Shrunu me paramam vacha Yatte ham priyamanaya Vakshyami hita kamyaya. So Brahma speaks directly now. Why? Because we are already practicing and we have reached that state where we can hear Brahma. So Lord says to Arjuna, Bhuya eva Mahabaho. Again, listen. Bhuya is again Mahabaho, O mighty armed Arjuna. Shrunu, hear. Me paramam vacha. My divine speech. Yat te aham. To you which I have been proclaiming so far. Aham. Yateham priyamanaya. You are my favorite. Or I love you. Why does Lord love here? Because we have loved Lord. So as much as they come to me, that much I go into them. So Arjuna has gone very deep into Brahma, so he can hear Brahma's voice. So he is a Priyamanaya, Vakshami Hita Kamyaya. For your welfare. When we go into Brahma, nothing wrong happens, only welfare comes. Even in the wrong, like Guruji says, there is a mother's hand outstretched to protect us or bless us. That is the shadow that we feel. So Brahma is helping. Brahma loves us. Lord loves us. Lord says, these are very beautiful shlokas which you can sing in prayer. You can also learn it by heart and then sing it in prayer. Lord says, Name viduh suraganaha prabhavam namaharshayah ahamadirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah yo mam ajamanadim cha vetti lokamaheshwaram asammodhasamartyeshu sarvapapai pramuchyate. Lord says, Name vidu, not me, known, vidu, known. Suraganaha, by the celestial gods. Sura are the gods. Even they don't know me. Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni. Who are above us, who is in charge of the Panchabhutas, who are in charge of men's bodies and minds, who are in charge of giving the karmic, the results of our actions. So they also, Suraganas, they don't know me. So Brahma is so superior. Prabhavam na Maharshaya. Prabhava is to create, right? So origin. So where I have come from, nobody knows. Even the Maharishis don't know, who have attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi, who attained me. They don't know. Maharshaya. Aham Adirhi Devanam. Because they all come out of me. Adi, beginning of the Devas. Maharshinam cha sarvasha. Also the Maharshis. Everyone start from me only. So I am behind them. How can they know me? They don't know me. Nobody knows Lord. Lord says then, Yo mam ajam anadim cha. If you know whoever, mam, me, ajam, unborn. Ja is to be born, ajam is unborn, anadim. So without an adi, I am beginningless, unborn. Cha, vetti, vetti coming from the word with. Vetti, knowing Loka Maheshwaram, Maha Ishwar. I am the Ishwara, the fundamental, the highest Ishwara of this universe, Loka. If you know this much, that is enough. You don't need to know how Brahma happened, whether he is a force or a magnetism or what it is. It doesn't matter. You just have to know me. Because when you know me, you will surrender. And when you surrender, you will unite. And you will become I'll become you. Pettiloka Maheshwaram, Asammoda Samartheshu, Sarva Papai Pramuchyate. When you know me like this as the unborn and the beginningless, you will be, even though you are a Martyeshu, one who is going to die, Samartyeshu, that is amongst the mortals, you will be freed. So you will be a Jivan Mukta Sannyasi. You will be here, but you will not be of this world. Sarva papai pramuchyate. You're free from your papas or the sins or the karmas you've done. That is Jivan Mukta. Live free while living. Free while living. In human form. It's a very, very high state. Very few can get the state, freed while living. Most people who have practiced get it at the last minute, or they continue to come back one more life, even the sadhakas, or they become yoga brishtas, go to higher universes. They decide to cleanse themselves from earth and do it from the higher universes. So these are different situations. But Jivan Mukta sannyasis are very rare. All the 6 Mahagurus you see are Jivan Muktas, including Krishna, Christ. They came here and did the cleansing. Very brave souls. And Lord says, Bhuttir jnanamasammohaha Shama satyam dhamma shama Sukham dukkham bhavo abhavo Bhayam cha bhayameva cha Ahimsa samata tushti Tapodanam yasho yasha Bhavanti bhava bhutanam Matta eva pritagvidaha. Can you see the vibrations? Feel the resonance in your body. Chant along wherever you're sitting. Lord says, Buddhi, Jnana, intellect, Buddhi. Jnana is knowledge. You can say wisdom. Asammoha, clarity. Sammoha is totally, under a spell. Asammoha is coming out of the spell, freedom from avidya. It happens gradually. Asamoha. Kshama, the capability to forgive. Satyam, truthfulness. Dhamma, control of the senses. Shamaha, the mental control, control of the mind, thoughts. Sukha, happiness. Dukkha, sorrow. Bhava, birth. Abhava, death. Bhaya, fear. Cha abhaya, fearlessness. Evacha, all these definitely. Ahimsa, non-violence. Non-injury to others. Samatha, always equanimous. Tushtihi, happiness and contentment in whatever we possess. Tapaha, the capability to practice austerity continuously for Brahma. Tapas. Some people learn and they give up. They can't practice. So the tapa is the capability to push. It's not easy. One has to keep on keeping on. They say the states come 3 years, 7 years, 8 years, 12 years, 18 years, 24 years. So every mode gives us a different level of prajna of these number of years. So if we continue through these, certain things happen. So that is tapa, the capability to continue through these yearly, what do you call those hurdles? Dhanam, the capability to give charity. One has to be having a consciousness of wealth. Consciousness of wealth comes from Guruji says the awareness that you possess wealth, success and wealth, then only you can give dhanam. One will never give freely unless one believes that he is successful and rich. So that consciousness also of dhanam, he gives yashaha, fame and success, ayashaha, even infamy or taking away the fame, bhavanti is creation again. It all comes, bhava, these are all beings or these faculties, bhutanam, of all the beings, matta eva prapritak vidaha. So these are the different forms I manifest through different beings. Some is very famous, some is totally not famous, some is equanimous, some of them are tamasic in nature. Everything we draw from Brahma, what Brahma has, and it comes from me. All these powers come from me only. That's so powerful, isn't it? Lord says, Maharshaya Sapta Purve Chatvaro, sorry, Manavastatha Madbhava Manasa Jata Yesham Loka Imam Prajaha. Sorry about that. Gala vet kya. So Lord says, Maharshaya Sapta Purve. So the 7 rishis of ancient times. Chatvaro Manavastatha. The 14 Manus. Right. Mahashaya Saptapurve, 7 who were there in the before, as in very, very old times, Purve Chatvaraha Manava Statha Matbhava Manasa Jataha Yesham Loke Imam Prajaha. So Lord says, all these great 7 sages, the 14 Manus, we are supposed to be, I think, in the Vivaswat Manu stage. Vivaswat is Lord Sun God. That's what Guruji says. We are in the 7th Manvantara. So in each Brahma's age, there are 4 Manus, is what is said. So 4 Manus. So we are in the 7th, meaning the present Brahma is the 3rd Brahma. So after 14 Manus are over, the Purna Pralaya happens. Before that, Khanda Pralaya happens. There's some things like that. So the Manu is like a Prajapati. He's like, the progenitor of all the beings in perhaps one planet or one galaxy or something to that. So perhaps our entire Milky Way galaxy, if it has thousands of planets, all the beings have come from Vaivasvata Manu, or perhaps Vaivasvata Manu is only for us. We don't know. These are very deep things. So Guruji also doesn't mention it. Guruji says you don't have to go into such details. These are all intellectual rhetoric. That's it. Just go into this one. He says, I am not going to give you details of what are the esoteric siddhis that are mentioned here through these beings in the 10th chapter. But yes, he does touch upon here and there in 10th chapter, because he says, I would have to write compendious works, another few volumes just to finish this 10th chapter. Each one goes so deep. So powerful, isn't it? So Manasa Jata. Ja is to be born. Manas se jo born hua hai. Manasa Jata. Esham Loka Imam Prajaha. All these beings and all the prajas, they have all come from me only. See the power of Brahma. See this, when we have that intense surrender and bhakti, or even if we don't have it and we read these slokas, 10th and 11th, or even 9th, 10th, 11th, that humility comes, then we like, oh my God, what is God? Can I even ask that question? What is God? So I just do Sashtang. Kritanjali Rabhashat. Pranamya Shirasa Devam. Kritanjali Rabhashat. So that complete bhakti comes. That is why these chapters are very beautiful. Saumya, Mridu, Komal. It's very nice to feel this in your heart. These shlokas. That is why you should know the meanings. Then Lord says, Etam vibhutim yogam cha mamayo vetti tattvataha. Again, vetti tattvataha, remember that? So avikampena yogena yujyate natra samshaya aham sarvasya prabhavaha Mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitah. So these are very beautiful slokas again. I can't stop saying beautiful slokas. So bear with me. So Lord says, Etam vibhutim yogam cha. All these vibhutis, glories, my yoga, divine powers. Mama yaha vetti tattvata. See, this vetti tattvataha keeps coming. Remember, we had pointed it out before also to you in other classes. Before this also what we had done. So vetti tattvataha. Vetti is to know and tattva is essence. Essence, you should know the essence, not the top level. Brahma, description of Brahma in the Vedas, Vedanta Upanishad, or in other, scriptures. That is not what is required. One has to unite and know his essence. Or after prayer, after upasana, after meditation, after yajna, homa, havan, you get that unity consciousness, you get that silence, right? That is Veti Tattvata. It goes on increasing. That is Veti Tattvata. Mama, me, Yaha, whoever Veti knows me like this, Sa avikampena, they will not doubt ever after that. They will not doubt ever. Yogena, like if they speak to somebody and ask, and asks, okay, show me your God. He will not feel dejected. I can't show God. There's no doubt. He'll just smile. Yeah. So that is called avikampena. So vikampena yogena, from yoga, yujyate na atra samshaya. Because through yoga he is united. Yujyate na atra samshaya. There will not be any doubt anymore. Now what does he do? When you are so sure this is your goal of life, what do? You do. Lord explains that Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaho. He knows that I am the beginning of everything. Sarvasya, everything. Prabhava, creation. Matta Sarvam Pravartate. From me alone, everything expands outwards, proceeds outward. Pravartate. Pravritti is to work, move outwards. Nivritti is to go inwards. So from me, everything goes outwards. Iti Matva. By knowing this, Bhajante Mam, they worship me. Buddha, intelligently, wisely, not foolishly, not closing your eyes, awakened worship. God likes intelligent people. Paramahansa Yogananda explains this very interestingly. He says, the Lord himself is very intelligent. He wants his children to be intelligent. The same faculty, yat pinde tat brahmand. In your house also, you want your children to be smart, to be intelligent. Yes, that's true. You want them to learn, have knowledge. Same feelings. The Lord wants us to be smart, intelligent, learn about him, learn about the universe. So that's what Guruji goes on to explain. Lord likes a person who is working hard, perhaps in a corporate world or a scientist or even anybody who is working, digging a ditch or, being a gardener and working hard and learning and experiencing things rather than a lazy man who's just lying for hours together, days together, doing no work. He will never get knowledge or experience. So he likes Buddha Bhava Samanvita. So when you get that Buddha, there is unshaken faith. You have the wisdom, you have the knowledge, you know the scriptures. You are definitely never going to let him out of your sight. Bhava Samanvita, with complete, complete love. Bhava Samanvita, filled with that love and devotion, you will worship, not for the heck of it. So that is why we need to know. So it is important when your children are small, you teach them about God intelligently. You don't tell them, do prayer, light the lamp, then he will say, why? And today's world, more so. Then you should know why. So you have to become a Buddha. Very interesting, right? That is the greatness of Gita. No blind following. Tadvitti pranipatin pariprashnena. Ask questions, understand, ask yourself, ask the Tattvadarshi. You will get the answer. Through buddhi, Buddha, prajna, you come to me. Without that, Vetti Tattvata will never happen. Knowing Lord completely in essence is not going to happen. How powerful the words, right? Go into the depth and kernel of every word. Gita is endless. It's an ocean. After many years of practice, perhaps when you're in your 70s, 80s, whatever, you're reading the Gita, new realizations will happen. It's an endless ocean. The same sentence will look different. The same word will look different. Now Lord says, Machitta Madghata Prana. These are very beautiful slokas. Please listen to this. Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanti Cha Tesham Satatayuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mamupayanti Te Teshamevanukampartham Ahamajnanajam Tama Nashayamyatmabhavastah Jnanadipena Bhasvata. Goosebumps. Such beautiful shlokas these are. 10th chapter is like a song. It is not intellect. It is just joy. It is pure joy. And it awakens pure joy. That is the beauty of 10th chapter. So what does Lord say is, so you who are a Buddha Bhava Samanvita, who knows Brahma so much, Vetti Tattvata, who have realized him inside, who knows that joy. Sukham athyantikam yatad buddhigrahyam atindriyam. Beyond the intellect and beyond the senses, that sukha of Brahma is knowing him in essence. Lord says, Mat Chitta. What do? They give their total bhava, that is Chitta. Chitta se kya aata? Emotion and memory is only about for them. Madgata Prana. Their entire prana is moving towards Brahma. You can decipher this how you want. Putting the Brahma is a swaha, ahuti of the prana. What do? Bodhayanta parasparam. They want to teach each other, talk to each other only about Brahma. You've seen the Bhaktas? The same Krishna story. Krishna was born. He was taken out of the, jail, and they walked through this Yamuna. Yamuna was in spirit. They will listen and they will weep. They will listen and they will weep. They will listen and they... So this is Bodhayanta Parasparam. The same book, same Gita, reading again and again. The same stories. So when you have attained the state, you want to listen to only this. Know that bhakti is awakened tremendously. So the continuous flow does happen. Otherwise also bhakti comes sporadically. We watch the news and after that bhakti comes. But then what happens? The news goes away. Nirodha parinama. It stops and then two bhaktis emerge, join. It becomes a continuous flow. Katayantascha mam nityam. Constantly talking about me. Tell me about Guruji stories. Tell me about Krishna stories. What happens? It's so beautiful. So I remember some great souls. Even in your grihasthashram, you can attain this. My husband's grandfather. I remember that soul. It was a very pure soul. He, of course, was married and everything. I want to refer to him. For many years, he lived alone without his wife, passed on. I remember those times when I used to converse with him. Such a beautiful soul. He used to constantly, he was in Vivikta Desha Sevitvam, like Krishna said, alone, quiet. He would constantly read, constantly read. Yes, he had human qualities, like he used to love his children and everything, but he would constantly read the Bhagavatam. And then when I used to go and sit and talk to him about Krishna, the moment I used to say Krishna, he would start laughing. And then tears would flow with that laughter. And it was so amazing to see that. And that's when my little mind used to think, oh Lord, when will I get to that state? When tears flows along with laughter, in that joy of just hearing the name of Krishna. And that is the soul of a bhakta. So Lord says, Katayantascha mam nityam, knowing that, loving that name of the Lord. You want to talk only about the Lord. Guruji says, if you have anything to talk about God. Don't talk about politics and this and that and how you were and how is your food and everything. Even for me, it gets a little boring nowadays if people talk, whoever it is. So for all of us, it is happening already. Who are practicing something and it will happen intensely. Nityam, tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They enjoy, they're satisfied and they're enjoying, they're delighted in this talk. So what do? Tesham, to them, what do? Satata yuktanam. Always thinking of me. Lord is watching. He knows. He's Sakshi Bhuta. He's sitting there, Paramatma. Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. When they even worship, even a little bit, they're so filled with love, right? Priti Purvakam. What do? Dadami Buddhi Yogam tam. I snap my fingers, and their Buddhi awakens. They know things. They awaken to the deeper essence of the scriptures. Buddhi Yogam tam. Yena mam upayantite. Let them come very fast to me. I am waiting. Upayanti. They get me very fast. Because I awaken. How do I awaken? Lord says, Tesham, for them, Eva, definitely anukampa artam. Out of compassion. Because we are human life, right? We're like ants. You want breakfast, lunch, dinner, दो चाय बीच में, and then नहाना धोना, कपड़े साफ रहना है, घर साफ रहना है, endless commitments. बीच में fever भी आ जाएगा, बीमारी भी आ जाएगा, work calls. So Lord knows all this stuff. That is why on earth, even the devas come to earth. Higher beings ask for 1 or 2 lives or few lives on earth. You know why? Because in Deva Loka, it seems, there's so much of joy. You never think of God. Even though if you want to think that, no, I will think, you will not think. So Paramahansa Yogananda writes in God of Arjuna, if you, in the Devaloka, if you want to remember God constantly, you have to come to earth, struggle, suffer, and call on to God. And it's a sanskara. You create that sanskara in your mind, a groove in your brain to remember and call on to God. That's why we're here. Tesham eva anukampartam aham ajnanajam tamah. Out of compassion, I remove their ajnana. Ajnanajam tamah, and remove their tamas. Nashayami, I destroyed. Atma bhavastaha. Atma bhavastaha. Staha. Fix them in the Atma bhava. Jnana deepena bhasvata. I also awaken the knowledge, light of knowledge in them. Light of knowledge in them. How does it happen? Out of love. Out of love for God. Intense love. And how does love come? When we seek. And how does the seeking wisdom come? When we suffer. So that is the cycle. And great souls come to earth. Even Rama came, thousands of Vanaras, thousands of, Gopas during Krishna's time. They're all Devtas. So Brahma announced, I think, to everyone, he goes and announces, look, it's very difficult to find you. You're enjoying so much. How many want moksha? Go to earth. Jivan Mukta, you become. So they all came with Ramakrishna, Sayuja Moksha. So that is where our evolution has to end. Yeah, so that is where we have to attain. So now Arjuna says, now Arjuna realizes what is Krishna. He is not a regular cousin of mine. He is not a regular man. It's very difficult to identify jnanis or wise people. They look like us only. Like, for example, you go and sit in front of Sri Ravi Shankar, you'll not know nothing about that person, even Isha. That is why we also deride. People write so much about that person, about Yogananda, about Vivekananda, about Satya Sai Baba. They want to deride because through their small intellect, they can't see the prajna of that soul. There are various levels of awakening. So now Arjuna awakens. Now Arjuna awakens. Just one moment. Sorry about the Karma Yoga part. Do something. Okay. So Lord, here Arjuna awakens. This is such a beautiful set of statements, Arjuna now for the first time opens his mouth. And he is realizing that This Krishna, whom I'm looking at, talking, playing around, patting his back and slapping and thinking as my friend, is actually something deeper. Actually, something deeper. So, because all beings have two hands, two legs, they eat food, they go to take a bath, they do the ablutions, everything like us only, all humans. So, we can't really distinguish an avatar from a normal human. So now Arjuna, what he says is so, it brings you into that state of really realizing how to worship Lord. He says, look at this. Arjuna says, Arjuna vacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan. You are Brahma, you are the fundamental support, you are the greatest creation, supreme. Purusham Shashwatam Divyam Adidevamajam Vibhum Ahustvam Rishayas Sarve Devarshi Naradastatha Asito Devalo Vyasaha Swayam Chaiva Bhavishime Sarvametad Hritam Manye Yanmam Vadasi Keshava नहि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवानदानवा स्वयमेवात्मनात्मानं वेत्तत्वं पुरुषोत्तमा भूतभावनभूतेश देवदेव जगत्पते वक्तुमर्हस्य शेषेण दिव्या ह्यात्मविभूतयः याभिर्विभूतिर्भिर्लोकान् इमांस्त्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि कथं विद्यामहं योगिं त्वां सदा परिचिन्तयन् केषु केषु च भावेषु चिन्त्योऽस्मि भगवन्मया विस्तरेणात्मनो योगं विभूतिं च जनार्दन भूयः कथय तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति मे मृतम्. Arjuna says, it's so wonderful to chant these shlokas. He says, Hey Param Brahma, you are the Supreme Brahman himself. Param Dhama, the place, our home, fundamental home. Pavitram, the most purest. Paramam, transcendental. Bhavan, you are. Purusham Shashwatam Divyam, the eternal one Purusha, divine Purusha. Adi Devam, the God of the God of the gods. Adi Devam, Ajam, unborn. Vibhum, the emperor of everything. Ahustvam, Ahu is to speak. Pravakshami, Ahu. And so many we saw, no? Prabhashati. All this is to convey some speech. Ahu, they have spoken. What? Tvam, about you. Who? Rishaya. Rishis have spoken about you so much. 4 Vedas, 108 Upanishads, 18 Puranas, 6 Darshanas, countless Samhitas, Aranyakas, and Vedanta, so many endless, Karikas and things written about these works. Endless Sahityas, endless Shastras. Why do they do that? Were our ancients stupid? They could have sat and invented a mobile phone. They could have. They had that brain. They could have invented a computer or a washing machine to reduce our burden, right? Of washing clothes every day. They didn't observe how the Sanatana Dharma was structured. They knew what is fundamentally important and through which the suffering will reduce, Ananda will increase. Washing machine, mobile phone, computer, say technological software, nuclear medicine, nothing is going to give us joy. And everything is antavattu phalam tesham. It gives phala only for that minute. After that, it doesn't give phala. You see? So the rishis did this. Ahustam Rishayas Sarve. They all spoke about only Brahma. They wrote compendious works on Brahma. Deva Rishi Narada Tata. Even Dev Rishi Narada, who moves around coolly between place to place as if he's teleporting himself everywhere. He also, and Asita, Devala, Vyasa. These are names of great rishis. Asita, Devala, Vyasa. All have spoken only about you. But now what is happening? Look at my luck. He's saying, Arjuna, Swayam cha eva bravishime. To me, you yourself are talking about yourself. How happy I am, I should be. When the Guru himself speaks to you and tells you, look, this is what you have to do. How lucky I am, Arjuna says. He says, Sarvam etat ritam manye. All this, Sarvam etat, this one, ritam is truth. Manye, I accept completely. Yet mam vadasi Keshava. To me, what you are telling, vadasi, vadanti, to speak, you're telling, oh Keshava, nahi te bhagavan vyaktim, vidur deva nadhanava. Vyaktim is vyaktitva, personality. Nahi te vyaktim, not definitely he, your. Nobody, definitely nobody knows your Bhagavan, oh Bhagavan, your personality. So mysterious is your personality. Vidu, understand, know, knowledge, Veda, to know. Deva na Danava. Deva and Danava, Rakshasas and Devas, they are higher beings than humans, right? So these are the higher creations. They also don't understand. Their capacity is very powerful. Paramahansa Yogananda writes, one angel's brain capacity is 1,000 brains of one human. And humans, we don't even use 1% or 2% of our brain. So a completely activated 100% brain into 1,000. That is the power of the brain, memory, knowledge, intellect, and everything. Even their capability to meditate, attain high states is immense, Paramahansa Yogananda writes, when you're a deva or an angel. So, but still they're so compassionate towards us, right? When we ask, we want this little, favor done, they do it for us. Because they know we're little kittens or we're little puppies. Like how we take care of the little animals, right? Like that. We love them. Sometimes they act foolishly. Little children like that we consider. Like that, the devas will protect us. But for those who destroy their animals, destroy plants, the devas will accordingly punish them also. So that if you want to be a deva, you have to be that state. That's what Paramahansa Yogananda writes. So you have that compassion, love. You feel that, then you naturally are going to propel yourself into Daivic state, divine state. That'll come in 16th chapter. 17th also. Now then says, Swayam, then Arjuna says, Swayam eva atmana atmanam. Atmana by yourself, atmanam about yourself. Swayam, yourself, definitely you are talking about yourself now. Vetatvam Purushottama. Okay, Veta is to know. You yourself know yourself, basically. That's what Arjuna is saying. We can't know him. Purushottama, Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality, the Emperor of everything. Bhuta Bhavana. You created all the beings. Bhuta Isha. You are the ruler of all the beings. Deva Deva, the God of all the gods. Jagatpate. Anything that has been created, Jagat. You are the Father. You are the Lord. So Arjuna says, so beautiful. Then Arjuna says, did I chant this? I don't know. Vaktum arhasya sheshena. Yeah, I think I did. Vaktum, you are speaking. Arhasi, please do continue. Asheshena, completely go on talking about yourself. I would love to hear. I don't want to stop. Look at his humility and look at his open minded. Look at his purity of heart. Lord says, Asheshena, don't give Shesha, don't stop anywhere, don't leave any gap. Talk only about yourself. Divya hi Atma Vibhutaya. What are your divine Atma? How your Atma comes about. Vibhutaya, how does it, manifest? Vyakt kaise kar sakta hai usko? Ya bhi vibhutir bhir lokan. These, from these Yabhi, from these vibhutis, with these great manifestations that you create these lokas. How do you create? Imam tvam vyapya tishtasi. Tishtasi is situated. How have you vyapya? अपने आप को कैसे व्यापक करके, इतना बड़ा बना के, इतने सारे चीज करके एक ही साथ, तो आप you have come and tishtasi, you're staying in it, fixed. Katam vidyamaham. Aham. How will I know all this? I want to know. How will I know all this? Aham. Yogin. O great yogi. How will I know all this? O great. Tvam sada parichintayan. And how can I meditate on you all the time? How can I keep my mind on you all the time? Parichintayan. Keshu keshu cha bhaveshu. And if I think of some forms, what forms? Bhava eshu. Chintyo asi. You, I want to think of. In what forms can I think? Like Taptiji was asking yesterday, no? Like, can I, Mother, Divine Mother, Christ, Krishna, what all forms are yours? Chintyoshi, how can I think? Bhagavan Maya, oh my Lord, by me, how can I think of all of these? How can I worship you? How can I keep my mind on you? Tell me, teach me. And I want to know it Asheshana. Like, don't leave a single bit away. Go on telling me. Then Lord says, Arjuna says, he's also Lord only to be in the presence of that great Lord. Vistarena Atmano Yogam. In detail, विस्तार करके आपके आत्म के बारे में, आपके चरित्र के बारे में, योगम, your divine vibhutim, cha Janardana, all this Janardana. Bhuya, again and again speak. Bhuya. Katayaha, go on talking about it. Tell me uska katha batao, describe it. Triptirhi, Triptirhi Shrinvato na asti amritam, me amritam. So this is immortal. He's pouring his love onto Bhagavan Krishna. He's saying, tell me, I want to listen. I don't ever get satisfied. I can go on listening to this. And this is a typical state of a bhakta, it seems. Typical state of a bhakta. He can't think of world. Ramakrishna Paramahansa talks in the gospel. He says that bhakta can't think of anything. You've seen Tukaram's stories. He'll just keep singing and he can't do any work. Just keeps singing and he's so immersed in God. Same Meera. She doesn't remember anything. Not to wear clothes, not to brush, not to this one. So apparently Meera used to get up in the morning. She would forget to go for ablutions. She would forget to brush her teeth. She would forget to wash her face. She would just start singing Krishna's name wherever she was. And then she would walk into the garden. Her maids used to take her to the garden and they should look at every flower, pluck flowers for Krishna only. So looking at this, one great soul said, who was to come to meet her, said, what is this? She doesn't bathe. She doesn't even comb her hair. She doesn't even wear her sari properly. It's all disheveled. And, she doesn't clean herself. She just sings of Krishna and she's plucking flowers, singing, and she doesn't even know where to go put it. She's so lost. So they say that, you have to, when she's okay, like when she's finished everything, her helpers have helped her do everything. Anandmai Ma also is like that, right? So she would not eat unless fed. So then everything, then he used to say that the great saint came and said, well, isn't it wrong? You're not even going for ablutions or bathing and coming. You're touching Krishna's idol. She says, so sorry. I will not do that. I didn't know it was wrong. I can't think of anything besides my Krishna. So look at that bhakti, no? I mean, at what level of bhakti might be there, no? I mean, amazing to get that also. It's a grace, even that. And so many lives might be spent to attain that. So then it seems, so as she's, that evening, she was singing to Krishna and Krishna came. Then she said to Krishna, or the next day she went, took a bath and everything and practiced. Many of you might know the story, took elaborate, cleansed herself, everything. Went and plucked flowers very neatly and went to offer it to Krishna. Krishna came out of the murti and said, I don't want a single flower, keep it away. I don't want you to be so clean, but I want your love. So she says, why? But that saint is also a great saint. He says that I want your heart's love. How your body is, how I don't care. And that is the greatest love. Shri Sai Baba was to say also, don't bother about bathing the body, keeping the house clean. Even Guruji mentions that. No? These are all unimportant things. You're going to leave that house and go anyway, it's going to get dirty again. So then Lord says, then Arjuna says, that is the kind of love Arjuna is also showing now. Shrinvato na asti me amritam. Endlessly you can go on listening. So we'll do the first few vibhutis of what Lord responds. That is why Lord responds. Otherwise, Lord will not even respond. Lord says, yeah. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Hantate Khatayishyami Divya Hyatma Vibhutayah Pradanyatah Kuru Shreshta Nastyanto Vistarasya Me. Lord says, Aham Atma Gudha Kesha Sarvabhutashayastitaha Aham Adishcha Madhyam Cha Bhutanamanta Eva Cha Adityanamaham Vishnuhu Jyotisham Raviramshuman Marichirmarutam Nakshatranamaham Shashi Vedhanam Samavedhosmi Devanamasmi Vasavaha Indriyanam Manaschasmi Bhutanamasmi Chetana Rudranam Shankarashchasmi Viddhesho Yaksha Rakshasam Vasunam Pavakaschasmi Meruh Shikarinamaham Purodasam cha Mukhyam Mam Viddhi Partha Brahaspatim Senaninamaham Skandaha Sarasamasmi Sagaraha. So beautiful, no? The chanting, that resonance happens in the body, it becomes so silent. So Lord says, chanting should happen with bhava. So Lord says, Bhagavan says, Hanta te khatayishyami. Yes, Hanta, yes. Ha, maybe the word ha came from Hanta. Hanta te, Hanta also means the completeness. So it's ha. Te, to you, khatayishyami, I shall tell. Divya, my divine, Atma Vibhotaya, the glories of my vibhutis. Pradanyata, mainly most important ones. Kurushreshta, most important ones. O Kurushreshta, it's Arjuna's name, famous amongst Kurus. Na asti anta vistarasya me. There is no end to my proliferations, my manifestations. So Lord is now going to describe only that which is there in this cosmos, in this universe. Perhaps only these sets of lokas which Arjuna knows. So there are brilliant millions of other lokas. He doesn't speak of that. So one should know. Like when he says that I am, Mrigendroham, I'm the lion. He's describing the lion because Arjuna knows the highest animal is lion. There might be some massive animal in some, other planets. But Lord's not describing. So what is relevant to us? So you should take it in that sense. It doesn't make sense describing other galaxies when we don't know anything, right? Lord says, Ahamatma Guda Kesha. I am the Atma. This is the fundamental vibhuti. O Gudakesha, one who has conquered sleep. Sarva Bhutashayastitaha, who is living in all the Ashayastitaha, in the heart who is living. Aham Adihi, I am the beginning. Cha and Madhyam, the middle. And Cha Bhutanam Anta, end of all the beings Evacha. I am only everything sitting in you. This is the most fundamental vibhuti, the highest vibhuti, the Atma of all the Bhutas. Then Lord describes all the glorious manifestation. We need to know it's only in context with earth and our present lokas. It is not regarding other, cosmoses, causal universe ke baare mein kuch nahi hai and all that. So what we know, referencing us, he's intelligent, he knows that. Adityanam aham Vishnu. Out of the shining beings, Aditi's children, 12 children were called Adityas. So I am Vishnu. Vishnu was the foremost amongst them. So Vishnu came as Vaman Avatara in the womb of Aditi. So in on earth, in antediluvian time. So but then Vishnu, this is not referring to Narayana or Mahavishnu. That is a higher or a different manifestation. Remember that, huh? Adityanam aham Vishnu, Jyotisham Ravi Amshuman. Amongst the Jyoti, shining things, Jyotis, I am Ravi, that is the sun. Amshuman, Ravi Amshuman. Jyotisham Ravi Amshuman. Here, Anshuman is a king, ancestor of Rama. We should not get confused the word Anshuman. It also means somebody who is shining, radiant Ravi, one who's shining Ravi. Marichi Marutam Asmi. Maruts. We have 49 wind gods. Out of the 49 wind gods who are called the Maruts, I am Marichi, the foremost amongst them. Nakshatranam aham shashi. So amongst the stars that we can see, I am the moon. So it's only for you who's saying up the stars. There may be 100 other stars, but in reference to earth, Lord is speaking. Then Lord says, Vedanam Sama Vedosmi. Amongst the Veda, I am Sama Veda. Devanamasmi Vasavaha. Vasava is Indra, the king of the Devas. Indriyanam Manaschasmi. Indriyas are the senses. Who's the ruler of the senses? The Manas or the mind. I am the mind who's the ruler of the senses. Bhutanamasmi Chetana. For the beings, I am their consciousness. Chetana is that Chaitanya that gives us that awareness that we are existing. That is fundamental, right? That Chetana I am. Then Lord says, these are the most fundamental. That's why we're doing it today. Rudranam Shankaraschasmi. Amongst the Rudras. So there are 11 Rudras. So the names you'll find it. Shankara, Raivataka. Raivata was also a Rudra. Aparajita. There's so many names. You can Google and find out. Rudranam Shankaraschasmi. The most foremost amongst them was Shankara. I think he was the 8th Rudra. He became Lord Shiva, Shankaraschasmi, who became the universal Lord. Vithesho Yaksha Rakshasam. Vitha means to distribute. Vithesho. Amongst the distributors, Yaksha Rakshasam. I am Vithesho is Vitta Isha is to give, the Lord of the givers. That is Kubera. He's supposed to be the leader of the person. He's the manager of Mahalakshmi. That's what they say. He is a Yaksha. Yaksha is, I think, they are not fully devas, they are half devas. I think they are the children of Deva and Rakshasa mix or something like that. Yeah, I think so. Yaksha Rakshasam, amongst the Rakshasas. They're considered as a little higher category of Rakshasas. Vasunam Pavaka cha Asmi. There are 8 Vasus, everyone knows about it. The sun, moon, the land, fire, everything. So out of that, fire is the most radiant and powerful one. Yeah. So these Vasus, they also have names, even that you can Google and find out. Out of that, I am Vasunam Pavaka. Pavaka is Agni, fire. Cha Asmi, Meru Shikari Namaham. Meru is the mountain amongst all the Shikaras. Shikaras means pointed things. Someone which is pointed. So Meru is typically called Merudanda or spine. So it has deeper meanings also. Then Lord says, the 24th, we'll close with this. Purodasam cha mukhyam mam. Amongst all the great priests who worship, the fundamental priest will be the priest of the gods themselves, right? Mukhya priest. Vidhi Purodasa cha mukhyam mam. Vidhi, know him, me Partha, as Brihaspati, who's the priest of the gods. Senanim, the gods, the ruler of earth, the Senani of the Senas of the gods is Murugan, son of Lord Shiva. Senanim aham Skandaha, Kartikeya. Sarasam asmi Sagara. Sarasam is like great storehouse of water. That I am the ocean itself. So like this, Lord will go on to explain many of his other vibhutis, which we will see in the next session on Monday. Okay, so let's take a moment of silence. Bowing down to the great Lord and asking him to help us to keep our consciousness on him. It's a very difficult thing in the mic world, right? Even if the worldly things are happening mentally, to be chanting. He says, I am Japa Yajna. Keep thinking of me mentally. Further, he says. So let's think and ask his grace so that we can think of him. Because even that, he only gives that grace. Looking at us struggle. So we have to struggle first to know him. Bowing down, clasping his feet. Om Guru Narayane Samarpayami. Jai Guru to everyone. So we'll chant these 24 slokas. I call upon anybody who's really good at chanting and who can do a very quick chant. These 24 slokas. I see Vishal